What is up, you sexy beasts? Hope you guys are being sensible. Hope you're helping to flatten the curve. I'm just here in Byron Bay with my lovely wife, just celebrating our 10-year anniversary. That's 10 years. And so I've got lots of time on my hands, just like probably most of you. And so I thought, why not post a little Q&A? I've never done a Q&A. I didn't know if I'd get any actual questions, but I got a few, so that's good. I actually had every excuse under the sun not to film this video. Number one, I'm on my 10-year anniversary with my wife. That should be a pretty good reason by itself. But also, I didn't really bring any video gear. I brought all my lenses and my two camera bodies, but I didn't really bring a external mic. It's the first time me using the internal mic, so hopefully it sounds okay. And didn't bring the ND filters, so I thought I'd come out early while the light's still nice and soft. Don't need an ND filter, and just give it a crack. You know, just do it. I don't know about you, but I'll make any excuse to not film a video. I want to film it, I want to do it, but I always find a way to get out of it. Looks like a nice little spot to sit, yeah? Okay, so let's get into these questions. I might see if I can prop this camera into that little space so I don't have to use my hands on the camera. Let's see. So dodgy. Nah. Oh, come on, mate. Sort something out, mate. Find a solution. Find a solution, mate. Be part of the solution, you know? Oh, it's not good. Okay, it's not gonna work. Nah, it is gonna work. I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make this work, guys. I'm gonna force this to work. This will work. Oh, okay, cool. Are you getting coffees for us? And comes on the beach. Just come and meet us. Come and meet me. Come and meet the audience on the beach, yeah? Why have I got an audience? I don't know, babe. 700 of them. I'm talking about my YouTube audience. I am a douche. Okay, see you soon. Bye. She was like, why have you got an audience? Why is there an audience on the beach? It's because you guys are here. I've got to find a way to put this camera down. My arm's going to fall off. This is ridiculous. Yes, we are recording. Wow. Hey team, I found a solution. I might actually show you the solution. No, I won't. No ND card in the second body. I was going to film that to show you. I can use my phone. I can use my phone, can't I? So, beautiful setting. Got the camera sitting on the stack of my wallet, my drone remote. I've got a little lens cap stuck in there to make sure it doesn't fall to one side. So, yeah, that's my ghetto setup for this morning. Okay, first question. One advice to young content creators that want to get involved in CrossFit. I've got so much advice, but my main piece of advice would be to make sure you put your work out there, whether it's on your personal page or like a business page, wherever you post your stuff. Post regularly and show people that you're capable. So you got to actually show your work, and I think a lot of us, including myself, we're scared to post our stuff because it's going to be judged by the world. We're scared to post our stuff because we don't always know or believe that it's the best that could be, or we don't know how good it really is sometimes. So my advice to you would be just to go nuts and post. I know for me, I made a decision that I would just not care what people think about my work. I would just post it so that there's something out there that people can see. And if I'm good enough, then I'll get the work. So there's obviously a lot more to it, but that's probably my main piece of advice, is to put your work out there. Just put it out there, all of it, the good, the bad and ugly. Question number 2, what did you start out photographing, and what was your first CrossFit comp? So I actually see myself as a videographer who can also take photos. So I actually did video before I did photo, but I remember snapping my first, what I thought was a decent photo of my friend Victoria Campos. She's an athlete from Brazil. She came to visit me on the Gold Coast. She was doing the regionals back in the day, and I remember my friend Ty got a new lens, the 85mm 1.8, and I remember snapping a photo of her and thinking, oh my gosh, that looks so good. And that kind of sold me on photography. I wasn't really interested in photos prior to that. I was more focused on video, but that photo of Vicky, I might even be able to find it and show you it. But yeah, that was my first photo I took. But then from there, obviously you don't have good looking CrossFitters walking around all day with you, so I got into just photographing anything. My family, my dog, my wife, my daughter, nature, like just landscapes. Anything I could take photos of, really, I took. And if you go through my Instagram account and scroll back, you'll see there's all sorts of beach stuff and family stuff and just anything. And then the second part to that question is, what was the first CrossFit comp you ever shot? And I believe that was the Torium Pro in Brisbane just last year, November. But really the first kind of exposure I had taking videos and photos of CrossFitters or at a CrossFit event was in Hawaii last year at the Great Hawaiian Trail Run. A good friend of mine, Dan, and his business partners, who are Matt and Cara Saunders, they started a new company as a sunwear company. Beautiful sunnies, my favourite. But yeah, those guys were generous enough to take me over with them. The Great Hawaiian Trail Run is run by a foundation called the Keala Foundation, and these guys actually support that foundation. So I flew over there with Cara to go and capture some content. Yeah, so just through the generosity of Cara and Matt and Dan taking me over there, I just met some amazing people. I met Noah Olsen, James Newbury, Pat Valner, Jessica Griffith, just a bunch of cool people that I've since worked with, which is awesome. Next question, it's from my good friend Carson, and the question just says, how are you? I'm good, man. I'm great. Thank you for asking. That's a really good question. I think I can see my wife bringing some coffees back there, which is exciting. Next question, when can we purchase some Sexy Beast merch? Probably not for a little while, but it's definitely something I've thought about, something I'm passionate about. I love fashion. I love the Sexy Beast brand, so I'm sure over time I'll make more than just stickers. But in the meantime, you can get a sticker. So if you're anywhere near me, or if you want to send me your address, I can send you a little sticker. If you haven't seen the Sexy Beast video I made last week, go and check that out. It's kind of the story behind the Sexy Beast. Talking about Sexy Beast, here she is. There you go. Thank you. Would works next to me as well. Almond?
Oh, did I give you the wrong
one? Wow.
Sorry. Is that better?
Gave me the almond milk. Wow.
Sorry.
What equipment do you take to a CrossFit comp? I hate the idea of getting to a comp and not having what I need, so I take everything. I just pack all my gear. Every lens I have, every tripod, monopod I have, I take. I've actually got most of my gear here, just not the little knickknacks. I had a photo shoot on my way to Byron, and so I got all my photo gear, but I don't have all my video little knickknacks. But I take the 70-200, the Tamron 28-75. I've got the Sony 85 1.8 on that body there, and then I've also got the little nifty 50, the 50mm 1.8. So those are my lenses that I use. Take my drone, which is the Mavic Pro 2, which is a beast. This thing has just been everywhere, all over the world, flown in all sorts of conditions. I remember flying this in Iceland in like high winds, hard rain, and it was just fine. It's a tank, so if you're looking for a drone, I couldn't recommend the Mavic Pro 2 enough. And then just a bunch of chargers, like adapters and extension cords, and yeah, my bag's just full of chargers really, and then that's pretty much my gear. I'm going to do one more question here, and then we're going to head off to the pool for a swim, and I'll do some more questions over there. Wow, who says that? Who says there? Really? I'll never say that. Just be yourself. When you do videos and photos, just be yourself. Don't be like me. Okay. Best way to improve skills for a beginner sports photographer? Honestly, just do more of it. I watch lots of YouTube videos, so I follow a bunch of different creators. So yeah, 2 pieces of advice. Watch lots of content of people that you respect and like the style of, and then just go out and practice it and make it your own. I borrow a little bit from everyone, but I put my own kind of flair on it, my own taste on it. So actually, that would be my piece of advice. Don't be scared to borrow, because I think people think, they're going to think I'm just copying this person or that person. There's not really that much that is new in this world. There's not really that many original ideas. Everything is borrowed or inspired from somewhere, so don't feel bad if you see something that you like and you then go ahead and don't call it copying. You've been inspired by that person, and you're now going to do it in your way. So that would be my biggest advice for beginner sports photographers. I still feel weird calling myself a sports photographer. I don't feel like one, but I guess I am. Okay, I'm going to pack up this ridiculous setup here on the beach, and we're going to go for a swim, and I'll answer some more questions over there. Oh, I said it again.
So stop. Maybe that is who you are.
I honestly can't believe I'm filming with no mic and f-stop 11. It's heartbreaking, but it still looks alright, hey? One of the questions I got asked is how did I meet my wife? And we actually met at the gym. I would have been 22, 21, 22. And yeah.
You were 21.
I was 21. There you go. I was 21. Details is not where I'm at. It's her forte. But yeah, just a young trainer. Saw a hottie at the gym that needed some help, and thought I'll give her some personal attention, you know. So I remember actually sending a text message from my own phone. I think I found her. This is probably highly crossing the gym's
So wrong.
crossing the gym's boundaries when it comes to privacy of clients. But I looked up a phone number on the gym system. Definitely crossing the boundaries, and texted her from my personal phone, pretending like I was at the gym. It was a joke, just saying, hey, just checking in, seeing how you're doing. If you need anything, let me know. And yeah, she liked it, so it's good. That was it. 10 years ago at the gym as an instructor. Look at this. How good is this? We've got this place for ourselves. Ooh, this is a good one. Who is the most down-to-earth athlete you have captured? I must say, hands down, Mr. James Newbury. By far the most down-to-earth dude I've ever met. Not only the most down-to-earth athlete, just the most down-to-earth human being. Love you, bro. Love you. Dalton asks, how can I be as cool as you? Stop it, bro. I'm not that cool. Not that cool. Must have starter pack for videographers, including things like your ideal Mac and camera. I would say if it's specifically for video, if you're a videographer and you've got a pretty low budget, I started on the Lumix G7. That was a great little camera. Can't do slow motion, but that's okay. I've actually gone off slow motion a bit. Been trying to use just normal 20 frames a bit more than relying on the old 120 for slow-mo. So yeah, if you don't have much budget, that'll be a great camera to start with. And then it just depends whether you're going to be doing this kind of stuff, like talking head stuff, or whether you're going to be filming other people. If you're going to be doing talking head stuff like this, you're going to need a wide lens, of course. But otherwise, if you have to just get one lens for video, I really like my Tamron 28. Tamron has some weird ranges. The 28 to 70, what is it? I think it's 28 to 75, whereas the Sony lenses go, or any other company's lenses go 35 to 70, I believe. Anyway, that equivalent, so kind of that range, somewhere between like 35 and 70, would be a great lens to start with. You can still film yourself. You know, at 35 you can still do it, it's pretty tight. But I think that's just a good range to have when you're starting out, so you've got a bit of room to move. You know, you're not stuck with a prime lens. I actually love using prime lenses for video, especially for like B-roll stuff. But just for versatility, having that range is going to be a good way to start for lens. And then with Macs, I'm not really a computer geek. I don't really know a whole lot. I've got the 2017 or 18, no, 2016 maybe even, the 15-inch Mac. It's great. I guess it depends what program you're running as well. I'm a Final Cut user. I believe Premiere Pro can be a bit harder on machines. But again, I probably don't feel too comfortable recommending any computers because I've only really had the Mac that I use now, and that's been great. Next question is, who's your dream filmer to work with one day? I'm a massive Peter McKinnon fan, so if I could film with Peter McKinnon one day, that would be incredible. Great YouTuber. If you don't follow him, highly recommend it. Probably get most of my inspiration from him. But also love Matt Como. So yeah, Matt Como would be incredible. Peter McKinnon would be cool. How long does it take for a person to be prepared or enable for them to compete in CrossFit? Well, it depends. If you're doing a local comp, you can go right now. You don't have to be prepared at all. If you're doing local CrossFit comps and you're a beginner, most of them will have like a beginner division. I used to compete in like all the local comps, so it's really all levels. But if you're talking about the CrossFit Games, different story. Unless you have some really good athletic experience, like background in another sport that carries over, it's going to be a little while before you get to the CrossFit Games. The guys at the top now, the guys that are qualifying now have been in the game for a long time. So how many Kit Kats have you had this week? Only one actually, Callum. Only one Kit Kat this week. I'm trying to cut down a bit. I know it's a fun thing that I do. And every time I do travel, I want to do it because it's like my thing, but I'm trying to actually cut back. I trained 4 times this week and only had 1 Kit Kat, so I'm on a winning streak. I think that might be it. Oh, Joe Valzian, my friend Joe. How do you get so handsome? It's God, man. God. God made me this way. Outside of CrossFit and fitness, what sport or team would you most like to create content for? I would actually love to create content for like Red Bull, like extreme sports. I used to do a lot of street skating when I was younger, so like street skating, BMXing, snowboarding, anything with lots of action and movement would be the dream. So I actually have plans to kind of pursue that space, to try and get into a bit of extreme sports stuff. That'll be a lot of fun. I'd love to create some content for those kind of sports. Patty Orr asks, who's your favorite Orr? Shane Orr, Tia, or Patty? Well, Patty, I know you the most. I know you the best. I mean, I have fallen asleep to the sweet sound of Patty snoring. So I'm going to have to say you, Patty, just because I don't know Shane and Tia that well, and I feel like I know you pretty well. So you are my favorite Orr, Patty, for now. So just keep the goodness coming. Okay, and last question for the day, guys. What's your go-to lens for filming, and what's your go-to lens for photography? This is a hard one. I love all my lenses. If I'm going to say my favorite lens for filming is the Sony G Master 70-200, just because it's got such a good range. And often when you're at these events, you can't get too close to the athletes, so that really allows you to punch in nicely. It's just such a beautiful. The lens is just. And for photography, probably my most recent lens that I bought, the Sony 85 1.8. That's probably my favorite lens for photo. So, guys, that was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. I might have to do another one of those, maybe one a month or something. So, thanks so much for all the questions. There's way more than I thought. I literally thought I was going to be having to make up questions, but I didn't. I got a decent amount. So, thanks a lot. I better go spend some time with my wife, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Oh, stay sexy. That's right. I've got to say that, eh? Stay sexy. I'm going to take this camera across the water. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it.